understand I am a dog lover, but my dog Trooper doesn't sit around and ponder to himself, I wonder what it means to be a dog, right? This fact that all of us, whether we believe Christianity is true or not, or whether we have consciously formed one or not, or sat down and examined our worldviews, the fact that each one of us has a worldview and a way of interpreting the world and what is real points to the type of beings that we are. It points to the type of creatures that we are. And as human beings, we are sense-making creatures. We seek to make sense of the world. We want to understand the things that are around us. And if we can't make sense of things, it creates almost this angst inside of us, this uneasiness inside of us. And we see this because we're the only creatures on this planet that ask questions like, why is something the way that it is? Why are things the way they are? And then a follow-up question to that is we may ask, ought the things be like that? In other words, should they be the way they are, or should they be a different way? We also ask questions like, what does it mean to be a person? What does it mean to be alive? Now, I know that I'm going to step on some feelings here whenever I use this example, but to kind of put this in context, understand I am a dog lover, but my dog Trooper doesn't sit around and ponder to himself, I wonder what it means to be a dog, right? He doesn't reflect on what the essential properties of what makes him a dog versus what makes the neighborhood cat a cat. And he doesn't engage some imaginational faculty where he begins to ponder some world in which he was a bird instead of a dog and what it would be like to fly freely. No, I mean, I would imagine that the only thing my dog Trooper thinks about when it comes to birds is whether or not they're tasty or not. But he doesn't sit around and ponder some of these deeper philosophical questions like we do as human beings. And bringing this back to mankind, it points to how our worldviews are formed and what sits at the root of these worldviews, and when we've formed that worldview, what that tells us a bit about ourselves. And so worldviews, when we shape them, and as they are formed, as we are maturing and growing up, they ultimately come from this deepest longing as sense-making creatures to have an explanation of the world, to have this ultimate explanation of what is real in this story that we find ourselves in. Now, what's common across these worldviews as we try to make sense of the world is some of these different yearnings or longings inside of us, these deeper questions that are inside of us.